Hello everyone, I welcome you all in today's presentation on tender and in which we learn about calling and sending quotation. So the content of this presentation is what is tender, classification of tender, procedure for inviting tender and information to be given in a tender notice or means how to create a tender. So first of all, I would like to discuss what is a tender. It is an invitation from the owner to the contractor to execute some work at specified cost in specified time, and it is published in the form of tender notice in newspapers, notice boards, etc. So according to the cost of works. Now here are the classification of tenders. We have many types of tenders: open tender, sealed tender, limited tendered, single tendered, and rate contracts. So we will learn about these tenders, about the type of tenders in the subsequent slide. So first one is open tender, an oral talk or written document between the engineer and the contractor for certain small jobs to be performed. Sometimes it is advertised. So in sealed tender invited for important or huge projects, wide publicity is given to this type of tender and always written documents are made. In limited tender, only a selected number of contractors are invited to quote their rates. We don't invite all the contractors. We invite only some limited contractors. We can say in single tender, we have already decided to whom we want to give the tender, or we can say invitation is given to only one firm to render a service by quoting their rates. If the quoted rates are high, it will be negotiated prior to the agreement of the contract. Now the next one is rate contract. It is usually adopted for supply of materials, machines, tools and plants, etc. It specifies the supply at a fixed rate during the period of contract. The quantities are not mentioned in type of contract, and the contractor is bound to accept any order which would be placed before him. Now we will discuss procedure for writing or procedure for inviting tender. So procedure first step is we prepare tender documents and issue a notice inviting tender or tender call notice, and submission and opening of tenders and their scrutiny, and the last step is acceptance of tender and award of contract. What information to be given in a tender notice? So first one is name of the department inviting tender. Secondly, a name of work and location. Designation of officer inviting tender. Last date and time of recipient's receipt of tender and period of availability of tender document. Then cost of tender document, time of completion and type of contract, earnest money deposit to be paid, date, time, place of opening and opening the tender, a designation of the officer opening the tender. So this is, all about tender, what is the procedure and what is tender, and we have already discussed classification of tender on the basis of its performance. Thank you. See you soon with the next presentation.